Star Wars Visions is a 9-episode anthology from Japanese anime studios. And I tell you what, it was actually really, really good. I genuinely had a good time with this. Not all of it's perfect, but I had a really good time with it. And so I just thought I'd sit here and do a review of them all. I was going to sit there and sort of individually review them, but I don't think that would go down as well. I think reviewing each individual ones is probably not the best. And doing it as a roundup of the whole thing, much better. Now I watched this all in Japanese, like the original Japanese voice cast. It was really, really well done. But important to note, if you are a lover of, the original audio, the subtitles are actually very quick to move. Unusually quick, I would say. And as a result of that, once or twice I had to pause it. So that's part of the review as well. I think that's really important, is that some of the subtitles move damn fast. A little bit too quick. But on a whole, I really love this. This perfectly exemplifies what we're dealing with here. This is the best of the best. This is one of the best ones. And it was actually the first one. It was called The Duel. It was so good. Ah, it's such a good time with this one. I really liked this. I loved this animation style. I really loved this animation style. The faux film grain creeping through. I mean, I don't know. I actually have no idea how they did any of these animations. And I don't pretend to be an expert. But I really like this one. As the name suggests, it's quite literally just a duel. You have the Ronin. And a Sith Inquisitor, or just a Sith that comes down onto the planet. And a lot of people are taking the piss out of this episode because the Sith has like a lightsaber umbrella, and they're like, "Oh, that's so funny!" Blah blah blah. And in fairness, I don't actually see anything that's that much of a leap from Star Wars on a whole. Star Wars was inspired by Japanese culture and films. That's George Lucas has said that many times. So there are a lot of people I'm not even a massive Star Wars fan. There's a lot of people pretending to be Star Wars fans going, well, this is just anime. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And this culture inspired Star Wars. So, I mean, even if I know that, you should probably know that because you're an epic Star Wars fan, right? You're a massive Star Wars fan. Yeah? Yeah. So the umbrella, the sort of loop-de-loop umbrella lightsaber as she came down and stuff, I didn't really see the issue with it. Like, there's a lot of sort of... in all of Star Wars, you can see that there's that sort of Japanese anime, inspiration. Where they're looping around, jumping around, or the prequels and bouncing everywhere. There is that there. There absolutely is. And I liked this episode because it left the Ronin as this ambiguous force. I mean, his lightsaber's red. And people were like, you're a Jedi. Oh, no, you're... But yeah, he still helped them out. This ambiguous force. I liked it. I really liked that. I really appreciated it. Now, the next one... Oh, also, this was by... actually, it's not listed. That's quite annoying. I thought it would list... I have the Wikipedia here. I thought it would list the studio behind each one. Sadly, it does not. The next one was garbage. Tatooine Rhapsody. It's about a rock band. Now, this is firmly for kids, this one. I mean, they're all for kids. They are. But that one was firmly for kids. I didn't really like it. I didn't really like the animation. It was... Well... I don't know what I can liken it to. But I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't see the point. It had a Boba Fett in it. It had Jabba the Hutt. And what I could tell was Ghee Hutt. Like Jabba the Hutt's offspring. Or someone related to Jabba the Hutt. Because... he complained about joining the Syndicate, and he didn't want to join the Syndicate because it was boring, so he wanted to become a rock star. It's very earnest in its nature, and in terms of all of that, great, yeah, sure, but it had real bad songs. It was just a bad episode on a whole. Just not for me, obviously not for me. The next one was The Twins, and I believe this one was done by Studio Trigger, I think, and I didn't hate this one nearly as much as I thought I would. A lot of people like Trigger, or Studio Trigger. Like, I've got to say, I didn't like this animation style that much. I didn't. The story itself was two twins born from the dark side, bred up to launch a new weapon of mass destruction on the galaxies, and one of them's good and one of them's bad. That's about it. One of them turns on the other one. The good one turns on the bad one. I mean, that's basically it, right? But it was quite nice. Not a bad episode on a whole. And I will say this, throughout all of these, the music was exceptional. The music was exceptional. The voice cast gave it their all as well. But the music was exceptional. The next one was The Village Bride, which I really liked. I really liked this one. What a lovely, lovely episode, or short, whatever you want to call them. It was fantastic. We're on a planet. There's a bride and groom, you know, bride and groom to be or whatever, going about their business, and watching them is a Jedi and her friend, I guess. There's separatists come down. They plan to either kill the chief or take the daughter. So the daughter says, take me. This is the bride. And it's this real nice slow build up to... And this is actually really what I like about anime, is that it's very earnest in its approach. It's just wholesome. All of these episodes, even the bad ones, right? Even Tatooine Rhapsody, just wholesome. Tatooine Rhapsody is just about family, right? So this one, the separatists came down. The Jedi finally found the sort of courage to face them and save the day. And that was it. But again, great build-up. Great build-up. And I will say this, in all of the episodes, except for Tatooine Rhapsody, because nothing happens in that one, the sword play that they animated was great. Especially this one. I'm going to keep this one up here, because this was fucking great. I really liked that episode. I really liked it. Now, the Ninth Jedi was an interesting episode. The Ninth Jedi... Basically, you're thrown into... And they're all just like some random distant story and whatever. And people are saying they're not canon. I don't care. The Ninth Jedi was an interesting one. The animation was great. Very, very good animation. And basically, a mysterious figure has been calling Jedi from across the galaxy to Ariel Temple, I think it was. The Ariel Temple. To be gifted lightsabers so they can... you know, join forces and take down the Sith and bring balance to the galaxy and all that good stuff, right? And so a bunch of Jedi appear. Obviously, some of them are not Jedi, and the mysterious figure reveals himself eventually. And I will say this, I was somewhat surprised. I thought that the mysterious figure, because he looks terrible, looks evil, would have actually just been evil, because, you know, Japanese people are very literal with that. You know, if you look evil, you're probably evil. If you look good, you're probably a good guy. But I liked that episode. Again, that was quite wholesome. The Jedi Hunters had taken the Saber Smith, the lightsaber Smith, and his daughter obviously had, you know, grew with the Force. And by the end of it, they were all like, "We're going to go get your father. Join, become the Ninth Jedi." And that was great, nice, very earnest, protecting, good, all that kind of good stuff. I liked it very much. Now, the next one I didn't like, TOB1, but again, it was wholesome, and I liked the wholesome nature. Basically, some weird little cybernetic boy, and it was the animation that I didn't like. It almost looks like Obelisk, I sound like I'm rapping then, Obelisk and Asterix animation. It was really weird. TOB1, Toby, is a robotic boy created by Professor Maritaki or something like that. Yeah, Professor Mitaka. And he dreams of being a Jedi. And I didn't like this episode because this little bloody robot got his father killed. Obviously, it's not his father, but Professor Mitaki killed. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. And this tends to be... It tends to be one of the things running through all of these episodes, and just running through Star Wars in general, is that the good guys always seem to get each other killed. So for goodness sake, have some foresight here. So anyway, this robotic boy dreams of being a Jedi. He goes off on a hunt for a Kyber crystal. He goes into a place he's forbidden. The place that is forbidden has a ship. It's Mitaka's ship. He's actually a Jedi. And the stupid little robotic boy summons an Inquisitor that comes down. Obviously gets his father killed. And TOB1 rises as Toby the Jedi. And it was wholesome. Like, it was wholesome, it was fine. Just didn't like the animation. And I didn't like the fact that Toby got his father killed. You son of a bitch. The Elder. Love this episode. Really liked it. I want to know more about this one. The animation style threw me off a little bit at first because it had this sort of gritty graveliness, but then the two Jedi looked too crisp and clean. Didn't like that so much. Basically, two Jedi are patrolling the Outer Rim. One of them senses a force of badness, so they go down to the planet. On the planet is an Elder. The Elder has a Sith-type ship. They find the Elder. He says he's not Sith because they ended up destroying themselves and he's better than them. And basically, the Elder faces off against the Jedi, having already faced off against the Apprentice. And the Jedi Master kills... actually does kill the Elder. But the swordplay was great. The animation was great. I wanted to know more about the Elder. I wanted to know more about who he was, what he was. And there was some great dialogue in there as well between the Jedi and his apprentice. And he was saying how... And this is what I mean about Japan. They're very literal in how they script things. And very earnest as well. And the Jedi was like, I wish I had... Obviously, if I'd faced him years ago, I perhaps wouldn't have gone as it did. I wouldn't have won. But you'll get more powerful, and I will get weaker. And it's that sort of... It's basically just coming of age, With age is power. With age, decline in power and strength and things like that. And the apprentice is like, oh, so surely power is meaningless. And he goes, no, because if you use it to protect people, it's not meaningless. It's great. Like, it was really nice. And then we have Llop and Ocho. Didn't know what to think of that one. Didn't hate it. Animation was fine. Just seemed a bit offhand. Basically, a furry gets invited into a family. Family's on a planet. Planet gets overtaken by the Empire. The daughter turns to the Empire. Father gets killed by the daughter, sort of, but not. Takes his eye out. And then they have like a Jedi lightsaber. It didn't conclude itself. It seemed a bit of a... I didn't really like it that much. There was no conclusion. There was no message. Well, there was. There was the message of family, which was actually really sad because the robot had scanned the images when they, when they sort of took this furry in. I say furry, it's literally a furry. And that was quite sad. And I guess the whole message was family and trying to, well, the message from the father was inheritance isn't blood. You can be my daughter without being my blood. And I liked that. I did like that. I just didn't like where the episode went. Maybe I wanted it to conclude itself. And that's my fault, I guess. It's not to blame with the episode. It's just my personal preference. Then the last one. Akakiri. Akakiri. Weird animation. The eyes were really weird. Didn't know what to make of this one. The eyes threw me way off. I was like, oh, Jesus. What is going on here? Basically, Jedi lands on a planet. Keeps seeing visions. He meets up with a princess. They go storm the palace. They want to take it back. The palace has been overtaken by a Sith. The Sith is the sister of the king. That Sith kills the king. Takes over the planet. Takes over the palace. And it was interesting because... The Sith says about destiny. The Jedi says it's not destiny. It's not my destiny to become a Sith. The Sith then sends a whole bunch of guards towards him. Turns out one of them is the princess. Jedi kills the princess. And then it's that sort of same thing of, well, the Sith says, hey, look, become one of my, become my apprentice. We can save it. We can save the princess. And so they do. But then he still walks off with her, and I'm like, but you just saved the princess, surely you now could be good. No? Oh, right, you're just Sith. Whatever. But it's fine. The animation was fine. Weird eyes. Didn't like the eyes. That's personal preference. Overall, I actually really bloody like this. I thought it was great. So, if you've watched it, let me know what you think down below. I'm sure a lot of people will be like, oh, just hate it. Sure, whatever. I don't care. I really liked it. Let me know what you think down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thanks. Again, the music. The music in that last episode was epic. Anyway, do hit subscribe. Cheers, guys. Take care.